Last time on Missing Stars, our hero Eric Wilhelm met a shy student named Isolde in the woods as she drew birds, fell on his ass in front of her and respected her personal space by not asking for help, talked to Irene in the cafeteria, and was assigned John as a tutor. Our story picks up during maths class, where Eric attempts to connect with his shy desk neighbor.
Okay, so we're in math class. Shy girl sitting next to us. She actually waved at us, kinda. I don't know. We think. I guess we're just finishing class. Let's find out what happens. I give my answers one last look through, along with everybody else, as Miss Clace stands back up in front of the board to wrap up the class. I notice the girl next to me is still listening to music, now with her eyes closed. Does she know class is almost over? Probably not. People are starting to filter out of the room now, and she doesn't seem to notice. Does she just have her music really loud, or does she have those fancy noise-canceling headphones? Oh god, AirPods, etc. Meme. I'm so funny. Anyway. Maybe she's just really good at tuning out the world. I better try to get her attention. Why? Apparently I'm the only one who's noticed her. I mean, she seems like she's more interested in being alone than anything, but I mean, no. Hey. Nothing. Class is almost over. No response. I suppose I should expect that at this point. I notice Fran laughing and shaking their head across the room. God damn it, Fran. Nice to know they have my back on this one. Come on, you should have seen that coming. I feel like I need to get their attention somehow, though. Get her attention somehow. She's going to miss the homework assignment, and somehow I doubt she'd be able to ask anyone what it is. We have a choice. Well, now, what do? Do I metagame and say give up because I wanna hang out with Lena? I'm assuming Lena is like the Rin route in this game, so probably want to be an asshole to everybody. Yeah. I mean, honestly, somebody like that, I probably would feel uncomfortable trying to breach that very closed-off wall that she has anyway. Well, I'd like to get to know her. I don't know. There are bigger fish to fry. I consider my options. Her eyes are still firmly closed, and I'm not sure she even knows she's sitting in a classroom, let alone that other students are vacating the desks around her. On the other hand, maybe I shouldn't bother her anymore. She clearly doesn't want to be disturbed, and she seems to be doing fine without me. I'm sure she'll realize where she is eventually. With the matter settled, I think no more of it and continue packing my bag to leave. I mean, that's the thing, though. Some people have trouble socializing with others, and it's a real struggle for them because they want to be sociable, but they just can't, they just don't have whatever it is. They struggle with it, right? I did that in the past myself. But some people just don't want to talk to other people. They just prefer not to. And, honestly, she seems to be the type of person who just doesn't want to. I mean, if anything, the only times that she's actually ever, reciprocated any type of communication has been in a manner that suggests that she's just doing it out of obligation rather than because she actually wants to, because she was, legitimately freaked out when Eric was standing over here going and trying to, think of a conversation starter, and then he asked her about sandwiches, and Fran laughed his ass off, her ass off, whatever. And that was hilarious, but still. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be bothered too much by making that choice. That seems reasonable. Obviously, I'm gonna play through this game 5 or 6 times, but for now, focusing elsewhere. As I do, I notice someone slip out the door just before me, the last to leave. It looked like the girl who was sitting next to me. I wonder if I should try to catch up with her. Would she appreciate that? Part of me thinks calling after her and trying again to make conversation would just be an inconvenience to her. Yeah, that's kind of the impression I got. Another part thinks that she'd be appalled by it. A sliver, though, is sure that on some level she wouldn't mind. Possibly. What? I'm pretty sure I made a choice to give up on her, but I mean, now we're gonna have a really awkward situation where it just doesn't work out anyway, right? I'm assuming. Struggled to catch up with her headphones in. It looks like she didn't hear me coming, but as I come alongside her, she notices me in her peripheral vision and looks in my direction. Expecting her reaction to be one of shock, but instead she seems relatively unfazed by my presence. She even raises her... Oh, wow, okay. Maybe I was completely wrong. I mean, I'm a bad judge of character anyway, so... Hey, she doesn't say anything. Fair enough. What have you got next? She pulls out her phone and taps a few times before showing me the screen with her timetable open. Ah, history. Nice. She shrugs. Not your thing? She doesn't have much of a response to this. I kind of like it. Learning about how people lived in the past is fascinating. She pauses for a second, then taps something out in her phone's notes, again showing me the screen. when she's done. Professor Ochsner is an awful. I betcha if we chose the option to pass her a note, that would have been the good option, because she seems to have difficulty speaking. Maybe she's incapable of speech? I don't know. That would be more of a Kato Shoujo thing. But still, this is interesting. Actually, I'm kind of interested in her now. Like, I want to know, like, what's going on, like, with her. Yeah, okay, fair enough. He's not the most inspiring. And have you heard the crap he listens to while working? Oh, I know. 80s Swedish pop music. I grin. Maybe you should subtly recommend him some headphones that don't leak so badly, huh? It's painful. She laughs, or rather forcefully exhales through her nose. Now I'm actually kind of feeling bad that I wanted to give up on her, because actually she seems kind of nice. Without prompt, she taps something else out on her phone and once again shows me the screen. It's Annalise. Oh, okay. Wow. Annalise. Okay. Huh. I completely forgot I hadn't learned her name. Well, that's one mystery solved. This is decidedly the weirdest way I've ever interacted with someone. Is Annalise physically mute, or is it purely psychological? Can you be psychosomatically mute? Because, I mean, Eric has a psychosomatic limp. Is it possible for that also to happen with, like, boys? Or I don't know. All this stuff is really fascinating to me. So, yeah. I think of asking her, and once again that sweet trilling tone of Katja's floats through my head. Would it be tactful to ask someone something like that straight up? Well, it depends on the person, right? On the impression I've got on them so far, and in this case, I let my gut do the thinking. So, Annalise, can you, I realize that as soon as I open my mouth that this is a terrible question. Oh god, are you fucking... I gave Eric a lot of shit, but it's only because he reminds me of how awkward I was in high school, and I just want to punch him because I want to punch my past self. He is very endearing, though. How can I reword with this without looking like an idiot? Speak? No, apparently there's no way to... No, apparently there's no way to reword it without sounding like a complete tool. He's not an idiot. He's just, he's just in a very unfamiliar situation, and he is just struggling to fit in. I can understand that. I can appreciate that. Still want to yell at him though, because it's kind of funny. She doesn't seem to mind, though. She nods. Oh, but you don't? She shakes her head, looking a little sheepish. Oh, okay. Well, how about this? Give me your number, then we don't have to keep communicating like this. It's kind of awkward. That's actually pretty good. Not that I would know. I'm not exactly a master conversationalist. I'm not sure what drove me to be so forward. If I'm honest, I barely know this girl. Why am I trying so hard to communicate with her? Because you want to have friends. I guess I'm done being a bystander. So far, basically everyone I've spoken to in the school has been because I was told to speak to someone by someone else, or because they spoke to me first. I need some license. That's actually a good mindset. This spurt of sudden confidence, it must be something to do with what Miss Kleis said. Even though it's kind of weird, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. I study Annalise's face. She still refuses eye contact with me, but I can see she's thinking hard. Her features are far from inscrutable. Now I kind of want to go back and choose a different option. When she isn't focused on making her... But I'm not a safe scummer. I'm totally a safe scummer, but I'm not going to safe scum in this case. When she isn't focused on making herself unnoticed, her face is surprisingly expressive. Apparently coming to a conclusion, she reaches out and I pass her my phone. A few taps later, she hands it back. Number acquired. After a second's pause, I sent her a text. Thanks. She pulls out her own phone, checks it, smiles, and taps out a reply of her own. Good to find... Oh, that's so cute! That's so cute! Oh, has she been waiting for this or something? It's adorable. Still want to hang out with Lena more. Anyway, I look up at her, and before I can help myself, a laugh escapes my lips at the absurdity of our exchange. Still, if exchanging text messages while standing right next to each other is how Annalise is, then so be it. Perfect, dude. You got it. You got it. Feeling a little awkward, I decided best to reply via text myself as well. You too. Another silent laugh. She must appreciate me replying in her medium. Yeah. That's actually pretty cool. That's really cool. I really like that development. I like this game. Okay, see you, Annalise. She gives me a small wave and heads off. Oh, adorable. Just call me Anna, by the way. Annalise is way too long, and old-fashioned as hell. Anna it is, then. I wonder if she'll ever be able to speak to me. Maybe that's something that she needs to work through. As Anna rounds a corner out of sight and my mind begins to drift elsewhere, I feel a presence behind me, a foreboding, tense, and somehow non-gender specific. Fucking Fran. Yes! It's Fran! Favorite ladyboy. Man lady, whatever the fuck. Acting on impulse, I whip around and point dramatically at the figure behind me. Fran! I love this. It isn't what? It isn't Fran. Oh, god damn it. The small boy standing behind me, at least a foot shorter than I am, looks terrified. Fran! Shit. Before I have to take any action myself, though, a hand is placed gently on the boy's shoulder. Sorry about Eric, chap. He's just been through quite an ordeal. Run along now. I fucking love Fran. Not needing any further prompting, the boy departs, delighted to get away from me and melt into the crowd. Greeting ear to ear, Fran turns to me and chuckles. Oh, Eric, my sweet precious child. You are persistent, aren't you? I can guess what they're talking about, but I'm not going to give them the benefit. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Come on, Wilhelm. It's so obvious. Were you listening on my conversation? Fran chuckles again, and this time I can definitely see why. Huh, what conversation? There was nothing to listen to. Bless you both, though. It was very sweet. You're really working hard on winning her over, aren't you? Most people give up in a few minutes, let alone a few days. Personally, I can never tell if that's what she wants or not. Plumbing the hidden depths of a selective mute doesn't appeal. I could see where they're coming from. Communicating with Annalise wasn't exactly easy. No? How come? I just don't have the time for it, sweetie. All strength to her. She's happy to keep doing what she's doing, but talking to her is more of a challenge than I want to take on. Still, it should be much easier for you now, right? I feel apprehensive about this. What does Fran know? What are you talking about, Fran? Come on, Eric. I saw you give her your phone. Getting numbers already, and you've been here less than a week? You sly dog, you. Oh, that. I didn't even think about getting Annalise's phone number as, well, getting a girl's number. It was just the simplest way of talking to her. Still, if that's what Fran wants to believe, you have to admit I got game. Hell yeah, now you're speaking his language, her language, whatever. They laugh uproariously. This time their laugh is much more than a wry chuckle, causing everyone in the hall to turn and look. After a few more seconds, they wipe a few tears from their eyes theatrically. Yeah, that's the problem with this. They use plural to refer to him, her, because there's no gender specific pronoun in the singular form. So it's kind of awkward to read, which is why I keep on yelling at Eric. Just ask him the pronoun. It's 2020. What's the harm in it? After a few more seconds, they wipe a few tears from their eyes theatrically and looks back at me. Oh, honey, you weren't being serious, were you? I wasn't being serious, but who's to say I couldn't have been serious? What are you implying? Definitely nothing at all. I don't know what you're talking about. You definitely have game. The words pour from their mouth, their grin belying their sincerity. Anyway, Eric, good for you. Well done. Well done. Their voice still coy, Fran's expression softens a little, and this time they do sound sincere. Your perseverance. It's heartwarming, chap. Before I can ask them why they decide to say this, Fran's turned around and calls over their shoulder as they trot away, giggling mischievously. See you in class, Wilhelm. I like Fran. Share my next class with them as well. Damn, what are you talking about? Fran's awesome. For now, though, I'm left on my own once again. Is the fact that I tried to talk to Annalise really such a big deal? First Miss Clace and now Fran. Who else is going to interrogate me about this? All this questioning makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. It's certainly not helping that constant nagging feeling of forever being an outsider. But then, why should I let that stop me? I doubt that feeling is going to go away on its own anytime soon, and like Miss Clay said, Annalise must appreciate it. Something good is coming from it, at least. I wonder if she feels as much of an outsider as I do. Possibly. My head now swimming with even more indistinct thoughts and doubts, I head to my next class, still somehow buoyed by Miss Clay's and Fran's encouragement. It might be a bit weird, but it feels like I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, totally. You don't have to seek out a romance with every single person. You can develop friendships, like platonic friendships, you know? And a lot of these people seem to be really cool people that I would want to be friends with in real life. if I was going to high school. There's a certain je ne sais quoi about the way the school bell punctuates the end of French class. I'm glad to be liberated from the droning of the instructor, for one, but I'm also a bit apprehensive about lunch. I've yet to find a rhythm with it, and while I don't mind variety, I prefer it to be my choice. I can't say I feel much control over how my lunches go yet. Each one is still a crapshoot between eating alone and being roped into some conversation with people I hardly know. Wouldn't that be fun, though? All just another step to finding my place here, I suppose. With a heavy sigh, I set off, lumbering toward the cafeteria. My protesting leg has already delayed me so long that everyone else has disappeared down some hall or another. It doesn't bother me, since it's not like I'd be talking to most of them anyway. Maybe I'll run into one of the few familiar faces at lunch, though. I'll make an effort to find someone. I don't want to get in the habit of eating on my own or waiting for someone to feel sorry for me. I'm recording this immediately after I recorded part 3. Maybe it's part 3 and 4, I don't know. Who knows? I don't know how I'm going to edit this, but I'm better at enunciation now than I was when I was completely sober, like a couple hours ago. What the fuck? Yeah, I do have a problem. One good thing about being slow is that by the time I arrive, the worst of the lunch rush is gone. People are either seated or taking their food elsewhere, and I can step through the line nice and quick. I guess that's exactly the kind of optimism I should be adopting here. See the bright side of things. Exactly. After a short wait, I get a hearty portion from a pleasant, portly serving lady. I thank her and turn around to survey the tables. Right. Who do I know? Lena! None of the students seated on the near side seem familiar. I can't spot Ella's bushy hair, nor Fran's perpetual smirk, nor Natalia's blonde bob. Maybe they're obscured somewhere in the crowd, but somehow I doubt it. They're all quite distinctive in appearance. I weave around chairs and edge to the opposite side of the cafeteria, craning my neck and continuing my survey. There has to be at least one person I know here. For a moment I'm hit with a self-conscious twinge of anxiety. I must look like an idiot, staring in every direction on my own. A black sheep obviously out of place. I relate to that so hardcore. I have to shake my head to dismiss the thought. I'm just looking for a friend, right? That's not so strange. Everyone does that. Good on you. Resuming my search, my eyes reach the far corner of the cafeteria. Last chance. Aha! A thick head of strawberry blonde tells me all I need to know. Hello! Gotcha's there! Helly freaking yep! Conveniently, there's a free spot across from her. I hesitate at the sight of the others. If Katja's busy talking to them, maybe it's best to leave her alone. I'd hate to force myself into a situation where I'm not welcome. Still, I decided I wouldn't be eating alone, and it looks like Katja's my only chance at that. I'll have to trust that she'll turn me away gently if it's a problem. I step past the last of the furniture between me and the corner table, and stop at the near end. Noticing me, Katja breaks off from her conversation and gives the tray in my hands a glance. Hello, Eric. My intuitions tell me you're looking for a seat. Very perceptive. I try. Would you care to join us? Awesome! She motions to the open spot across from her, and I nod, setting my food down and taking a seat. Thanks. I hope I'm not interrupting anything. Not at all. We were discussing the choir's plans for the gala. The gala. It can wait. However, introductions are in order. Everyone, this is Eric Wilhelm, a recent transfer student in Miss Clace's class. Eric. She begins to motion at each of the others in turn. This is Gretchen, Henrietta, and Teresa. They're fellow members of the choir. I nod and blink, making a concerted effort to engrave the names and faces into my head. I'm confident I'll fail, like me, but it seems like common courtesy to try. They all smile at me, and we commence the usual pleasantries for a few minutes. By the time we're done, however, I confirm that I've completely forgotten their names. I temporarily number them 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully, I'll be reminded of their names before it's obvious I've forgotten. But Katja motions to them before I can say anything, and they resume the conversation on their own. It seems she anticipated my discomfort. I give her a prayer of thanks for sparing me from the inevitable awkwardness. Now she looks back at me with interest, a chin resting on her hands. On her hands? On her hands? On her arms! It's a look of respectful attention, the same one she seems to maintain every time we speak. There's something genuine about it, but also something detached, as though she wants to keep a little distance. I know it's only been a day, but I have to ask, how have you been? Ironically, a lot happened over the past day. The question risks sending me down a rabbit hole of recollection. It seems impolite to vent to somebody who might be a new friend, but she did ask. I swallow the food I've been munching on and answer. I've been getting by, you know. It's still a bit overwhelming orienting myself here. Of course, there's no need to push yourself too hard either. As I mentioned at our first meeting, these things take time. We were all in your shoes, and we've all grown into the ones we wear now. Right, but those words can sound empty, I know. There's only so much anyone can say to alleviate the anxiety. In the end, the bulk of it falls squarely in your hands. I sigh, and Katja offers a sympathetic smile. This is never to say that you must do it alone. The distinction is important. Even the things you have to do for yourself are easier done with the support of others. What's most important is not to feel lonely. Right. That's actually why I came here, sort of, to this table specifically. Oh? I decided to look for someone I knew at lunch, taking initiative, you know? It took a while, but I managed to spot you here in the corner. So in a way, I guess this is me taking your advice before it was given and trying not to be alone. Lonely, not alone. Regardless, I'm very happy to hear that, and I'm glad I've managed to be of assistance. So that's the thing that's interesting about her, is that she's very particular about word choice and things. I'm starting to get a little bit tipsy. When you put it that way, it sounds so sterile. My apologies. It's an occupational hazard. Occupational hazard? Of what occupation? Being me. She says this was with a giggle, and I realize that getting her to laugh is satisfying. It feels like a sign that I'm doing something right in my interactions with the people here. You were about to tell me how your past day went, then. Oh, well, it was eventful. Eventful? A good or bad kind of eventful? A bit of both, I think. There were many events. Many events. Tremendous events. She raises an eyebrow, and I feel her eye bore into me, not with any malice, but with a healthy dose of sarcasm. Would you like to discuss any of these events, or shall I continue to prompt you and advance this conversation in sentence-length episodes? I like her. I had my first appointment with Dr. Faber, for one. I see. That's plenty already. The first appointment can be a significant milestone for the students here. It was, in a way. I had my own expectations, and to be honest, he defied them. I was pleasantly surprised. I came in cynical about the whole thing, but I left genuinely feeling a bit better and hopeful, you know? I didn't think it would affect me so quickly. The idea of therapy seemed dark and mysterious to me, and I'm starting to realize that may have been wrong. It may have, but you wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. Popular media has perpetuated a lot of stigma. And that's why I like this game, because it's going against the stigma. Hell yeah. Random, encouraging, empowering words, whatever, fuck it. Every year, an appreciable portion of the incoming class has the same concerns and finds them allayed soon enough. I'm glad you had a good first experience with Dr. Faber. I expect it'll help to be able to look forward to your sessions. Absolutely, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't anxious before the first one, but now I can feel relaxed about it. It's already significant progress. Maybe. I guess it is. Shut the fuck up. I don't know where that came from. I think so. However, that was the first of multiple events. Shall I ask about the next? I still feel guilty unloading my worries on Katja, but she seems happy to talk about them. She teased you for not just, going ahead and just saying the things. Just freaking talk. I'm also feeling better about having started this conversation. Katja has a good sense for what to say. She's excellent. She's great. I guess I don't have any reason to stop now. You remember how when we first met you asked me about my sandwich? Yes. You called it protocol and explained how it was useful for gauging individual students. I've been trying to do something similar myself, and I think I might be getting the hang of it. First attempt was a bit, not great. I ran into someone on my way back from the appointment yesterday, and I want to say I did all right. It was not bad. It was a bit awkward, but I was able to talk to the person without making too much of a fool of myself. That's certainly progress from our first meeting. I'm pleased to hear it. Yeah, I guess I'm learning how to gauge. You completely missed that she said that you were making a fool of yourself in your first meeting. She's playing chess, everyone else is playing checkers. Despite the rocky start, my run-in with Isolde definitely went better than the first 2 times I tried to talk to Anna. Sometimes you have to know when not to try and engage someone. These are the little lessons I have to learn along the way. You have to fail before you can learn. Well, not always, but whatever. Before I came here, I thought I could get by just being upfront with everyone I met, but I'm beginning to understand it's not so simple. Sometimes people need a little space. Katja tilts her head, almost like she's surprised at my comments. That's very insightful of you. Well, there's some brain behind all this brawn, you know. Oh, that much was obvious. It doesn't have much to hide behind after all. Wow, rude. You'll forgive me. And yes, you're right. A conversation with a stranger isn't everyone's cup of tea. You might not have had to reckon with that reality amidst the general population. Her voice drops an octave with the last two, general population, affecting deep derision. Ooh, okay. I know she's exaggerating, but the distinction makes me feel a sense of camaraderie. I may be new here, but I'm not an outsider. Your approach is the norm, if there is one. Here, though, that strategy won't work. But you seem to be adapting very well. Hey, I was bound to make some progress. Can't be the awkward new guy forever. I'm sure you won't be, a few months from now. Wow, rude! All the same, now I feel even better about how that chance meeting went. The discussion leads me to the morning I just had, and I'm reminded of my first real conversation with Anna. I'm on a roll, and I decide to keep talking, even if I'm just dumping everything that's been on my mind. I also had a bit of a breakthrough just earlier today. Oh? Yeah, I took a calculated risk, I guess, and it paid off. I've been trying to talk to this one classmate of mine for the past few days, and I finally figured out a way to do that. Figured out a way to do it that works for both of us. Yes, that's what he said. Katja appraises me, the corners of her lips twitching with what might be a knowing smile. I wouldn't be surprised if she knew exactly who I was talking about, whether through the school's healthy rumor mill or just by reading between the lines. I was, as you might say, very insightful. Katja responds to my smirk with a giggle. Very good, Eric. Do tell me more. Well, I think it came down to putting myself in the other person's shoes and thinking about what might make them most comfortable. Even though I was totally ready to give up on her because I want to go hang out with Lena. Indeed, as much as asking about sandwiches can help me gauge a person's approachability, accommodating their desires is a different skill set. One that you seem to be acquiring well. I want to smile at Katja's praise, but a pit of guilt in my stomach prevents me. She notices my hesitation and doesn't say anything, keeping her eye on me patiently. Maybe, but it wasn't my first instinct. Not sure how to continue, but Katja offers me a gentle prompt. What was your first instinct? To be honest, the first thing I did was give up on them. Told myself it wasn't worth it. Oh, god damn it! Now you're gonna make me feel bad. Fuck! I told myself it wasn't worth the trouble, that they wouldn't be interested anyway. It was a little uncharitable, I guess. Unfair. God, stop making me feel bad! It wasn't until after that I decided to just go for it, and that's when I had the breakthrough. Katja strokes her one hand with the other, considering me. It's hard not to hold my breath under her gaze, but she breaks the silence soon enough. I think that, in spite of your initial uncharitability, you still made the right choice in the end. I didn't! He did! You've clearly learned from it. That's what matters after the fact. I suppose. We all make mistakes, Eric. God damn it, stop it! You're going to stumble, and that's okay. I don't know how much that helps, but I do feel a little better about it. Yeah, I'm just trying to resist how new I am here. I think. I don't want to feel new, you know? But it's inevitable that stuff like this will happen, you're right. And when it does, what's important is that you resolve to do better. I think you have. You're fine, trust me. I hope so. Now I notice I've gone through most of my meal and made this into an impromptu therapy session. I should probably fix that before the entire lunch break is gone. I glance at number 1, 2, and 3, who seem to be engaged in standard classmate small talk. I think back to the conversation I interrupted when I first arrived. Anyway, you said you had planning to do for the gala. Katja blinks at the sudden gear shift, but catches on quickly enough with a smirk. You aren't obliged to humour me, you know. It isn't an obligation. I'm really curious. And besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I spent the whole lunch talking about myself? Not too different a kind from the others I've met, suffice to say. But yes, the choir has a performance planned for the gala. We'll be spending much more time in rehearsals the next week. I expect to be very busy until the gala. When are you performing? Sunday? Friday as well, but the Sunday performance is the main event, as it were. The fuck am I doing? It's one of the most ambitious events we have every year, and the coordination it takes is substantial. But it's something we've always been proud of. Most of the school turns up to watch, and given the withdrawn tendencies of some of them have, that's saying something. She pauses and looks off to one side, unusually pensive. I wait for her to work through her thought, and after a moment she looks back at me. I like to think that it gives everyone a bit of hope for the year. The concept can be so foreign to many of us, and I want to make it familiar. Preparing for the gala invariably puts us under intense pressure, but I feel it's worth it. As a performance, it's a spectacle to watch. More than that, I wanted to lift everyone's spirits. If we manage to do that, then I can take the heat of the preceding weeks. A little hope can be enough to save someone. She's so fucking cool. For a second I just look at her, not sure how to respond. She's looking at me expectantly though, so I try to come up with something. You're amazing? I've obviously never been to one of these, but I can see how important it would be. And you're right. A little hope can go a long way when someone is at their lowest. I don't need to make it clear that I'm speaking from experience. I think we can all speak to it the same. If you put that much effort into it, I think there's a good chance it's having the intended effect. I know I'm looking forward to seeing it. Katja lights up at that last sentence. Oh, excellent. I'm eager to know what you think of it when the time comes. For now, I just have to focus on our practices. If they're anything like what I saw you do yesterday, I'm sure you'll be fine. Thank you. I do want to thank you again for coming to watch, and actually, I wanted to invite you to see my practices, whenever you like. People stop by occasionally, but I often practice on my own, like I was yesterday. Performing with an audience of even just one makes a big difference. It's especially helpful when the audience can give their thoughts unsullied by musical formalism. More chances to see Katja sing? Her invitation is the choir equivalent of a season pass to the movies. I don't know how much time I'll have in the coming weeks, but setting aside half an hour now and again to sit in on Katja's practices is not too shabby an idea for leisure. Oh, God damn it, Katja! I really want to do Lena's route, but Katja's just so fucking cool. Fuck it. Oh, I mean, if I have to do Lena's route on the second playthrough, that's fine. Katja's freaking awesome as well, so hey, why not? Yeah, that would be great. I could use something to unwind. Just let me know when and I'll make some time to drop by. Katja gives me a wide smile. Thank you, Eric. I'll keep you informed. In the meantime, we might want to finish up here. Our break is nearing its close. I check my phone. She's right. We've used up all but 10 minutes of our lunch. I'd say it was time well spent. I stack my empty plates on the tray and stand up with the elegance of an arithmetic man. Oh wow. I thought it was arithmetic man. But that can't be helped. Katja collects her own things and waves goodbye to her friends before giving me one last smile. It's been a pleasant conversation. I look forward to seeing you around at practice. Sure, count on it. I'll see you later. I have a feeling I just locked myself into Katja's route. Which isn't really a bad thing, because she's probably my second favorite character after Lena. So, I mean, fuck it. Why not? I'm cool with that. And with that, we make our way back to our classes. Unsurprisingly, the optimism I held for becoming a focused, motivated student last class has already left, replaced entirely by reruns of my conversations from earlier. On the bright side, humanities are subjective. It's really more about presentation than content, and I figure with a little help from my thesaurus, I should have a passable imitation of actual competence. Heading in the direction of my classroom building, I turn my phone over in my pocket and think about the girl who sits next to me. My awkward little interaction with Anna earlier today hadn't seemed too remarkable at the time. Sure, she's quiet, maybe she doesn't like the sound of her own voice. Her texts are perfectly normal, and reading them you wouldn't think there was anything strange about her, but hearing Miss Claes and Fran talk, you'd think I somehow managed to land a cargo plane blindfolded. Katja seems to think I was on the right track, at least, and by all appearances, Katja is St. D's leading expert on conversation and social etiquette. I'm left wondering if Anna really is as shy as everyone says, or if they've all jumped to the same conclusion I'd arrived at. What if Anna's introversion is just a self-fulfilling prophecy? Is it really just as simple as passing a single note? Yeah, I knew it. I knew passing the note was the right choice, but God fucking damn it. I'm metagaming the hell out of this. I almost jump at the sound of the bell, signaling the 5-minute warning for me to get to class. Heading into the building, I join the flow of students in the hall, my mind half on the events of today. All the same, I can't help but scan the crowded corridor for Anna's trademark headphones, to no avail. I could always text, but suddenly texting anyone before class starts seems pushy? Desperate even? Yeah. All the same, passing notes in class is hardly an ideal solution either, and from what I can tell, Anna doesn't eat lunch in the cafeteria. I'm definitely overthinking this now. Overthinking what? Hell yeah. Ah! It's crowded hallway, Eric. Loosen up. Sorry, it's just hard to notice you down there. Wow, you're going to height shame me? That's low, man. Literally. I'm not... It's fine, you can make it up to me. What are you looking for? I don't get many sentences out when Irene is around, do I? Don't play dumb. You look like you've lost a kid at the mall and don't want to yell in public. You're like an NPC with a side quest icon. I can't just ignore that, you know? It'd drive me crazy. I'm not an NPC. Whatever helps you sleep, man. As much as I want to complain, Irene might be exactly the person I need right now. Something about this seems wrong, but if it's information I'm after, I can hardly think of someone more likely to work consulting with the school's resident spy. Alright, fine. I'm looking for Annalise. Do you know her? Headphones and a hoodie? Irene's posture shifts, her expression falling into something almost disinterested. Annalise Cole? Yeah, I know her. Why, what's up? Well, nothing's up. I just want to get to know her better. Do you know about her? I managed to break the ice a little during math, but I don't want to step on any landmines talking to her. All I really know is that she likes music, but I thought maybe you'd know more. Even as I trail off, Irene's features harden. I didn't even know Irene's features could harden, but before I know it, her eyes are locked onto mine, scrutinizing me for whatever unknowable tells. The sound of the crowd seems to fade away. So, Eric, full disclosure, I think you're a cool guy. At least I'm pretty sure you are, and I'd like to think I'm a pretty good judge of character. But I'm not perfect. Not by a long shot. So if I find out that you're being an asshole, and I always find out, then I'm going to make sure everyone in school hears about it. Not just the students, everyone. Jesus. And just like that, the intensity vanishes, and sound returns to the hallway. Just a disclosure, you know? So, you still want to know more about Anna? Jesus. You know what? I think I'm fine, actually. Annalise Cole, age 18, thankfully. What? Oh, God damn it! Let's see. I said I didn't want any help. Obviously, Eric, because if you did, I wouldn't have told you. That's how secret tests of character work. Why doesn't she have a root? God damn it. Besides, didn't I just say? I think you're a cool guy. Annalise could use more people like you in her life, you know? People willing to put in the effort to get to know her. She eats her lunch at the corner of the cafeteria, by the way, but you should text her and ask so you don't look like a creeper. And buy a headphone splitter. And with the last of the crowd disappearing towards their classrooms, Irene adjusts her book bag strap, turning to join her next period, leaving me alone and slightly terrified. Sighing, I turn and enter my own classroom.